So I've been getting a lot of questions about love and relationships, and it's time for me to speak. No, I'm not an expert on this in the sense of uh, formal education. However, the ideas that you have to have that to be able to advise people is really false because this is the thing. My best advice would be when you're meeting somebody or getting to know someone, don't talk superficially. You don't have to divulge all the deep, dark secrets you may have. However, you need to find out how people define things. So often we say exactly the same things. Oh, I want love. Oh, I want to have a successful, business or career. I want, a home and, different things. And we say the same thing. But the way that somebody defines it is that is the part that we need to focus on. When somebody says, oh, I want to be in love and I want to be happy, I want to be with someone committed who is balanced or whole, what does that mean? And do people even ask those questions anymore? It seems like everybody fast forward to hanging out, what can you do for me, and into what is really not love. It's erotic. It's lust in essence. And often when you start something out in lust and you never swerve it back into the right direction where it should be, that you're kind of interviewing someone, and you shouldn't spend a lot of time with someone you haven't thoroughly interviewed. And part of an interview, usually they do a background check first. Let me check people around this person. Let me see what people close to them are saying about them. Is this compatible with where I'm headed? Not where I am, but where I'm headed. Oftentimes we, especially women, I'm a woman, settle for, wow, he's got a lot of potential. He says a lot of these awesome things. Because understand, guys and women, when you're speaking to a woman, she feels your words. She doesn't hear them. She feels them. And women, we have to put that guard up and don't feel the words. Hear him and watch his action. The lesson that I've learned is defining things. If you don't define it, you'll end up fighting later about the things that were not clearly defined. And if you ignore signs of things that are problematic and you don't deal with it, you're going to deal with it. I believe that everybody does get what they want in life. But the thing is, you have to grow as an individual long enough to know what you want and then prepare and be ready for it. Because you'll get what you want in 1 month, and then 10 months later or 6 months later, you don't even want the same thing because you've grown if you're doing your personal work. If you only want the same exact thing after that kind of time, you're probably not growing personally. And you have to make sure each individual do their own work before they get involved that deeply. And again, go back to the fact that when you're getting interviewed for a job, they're going back in your history to see if you're qualified and if you may be able to do the job at the pace and at the altitude that they want you to do it, if you have the ability to adapt. So think about all those things, people. Before you get involved, think about the fact that you need to do a thorough interview. You need to make sure, and don't just have a good time, because you can have a good time with anybody. You can have chemistry with anybody, truly. But can you work with everybody? No. Can you submit? Can you pay the price for everybody? No. Or anybody? You have to make sure it's worth it first. So that's my advice for today.